Hello and welcome, anyone and everyone. Today we're looking at the new Megaman figures from Jada Toys, a line I've been very interested in. I've liked Megaman for a long time. I've always thought he was cool. I never properly could consider myself a fan until Archie Comics got the license back when I was starting high school. And I really wish Archie still had the license because those comics were amazing. And they added a great story to the Mega Man universe. They told a narrative of the games in a great way. And they had those awesome crossovers with Sonic. But, it's not around anymore, but I can still enjoy Mega Man for what it is. Especially, I love the visual style of at least classic Mega Man and Mega Man Battle Network. And the reason I was interested in this line compared to all the other Mega Man lines is usually when a company gets the Mega Man license, they just do Mega Man and that's it. And sometimes they do the other Mega Mans from all the different time periods and dimensions, because Mega Man has a crazy lore if you actually think about it. But I wanted the other Robot Masters, and Jada's promising that, especially with what we have here and what they've shown off. But enough with the rambling. Let's just crack these guys open. Start. Oh, okay. Hang on. There we go. And of course, we're going to start off with the titular Mega Man himself. Take a look at those later. And there he is, looking very cute, looking very much like the Mega Man artwork. And I'm really glad, because this is a rendition. We see classic Mega Man depicted as the most, and I was honestly worried when we got that more. It's like when he debuted in Smash Brothers, and he was designed to look more like his vintage sprite, but in 3D. And honestly, I thought that was very ugly. So I'm glad we got this Mega Man. I would say the proper Mega Man in this action figure form. And he's got some very beautiful paintwork. His darker blues have been done in more of a metallic finish, but you can see he's got some light blue shading, like next to the bars on his helmet, and going down the center of his little diaper, and the center of his boots. And you can see, he's even got some dark blue shading on his torso and his collar. He's got a gray neck. I think I've seen Mega Man depicted with a gray neck before. Can't really remember that. And since I was bringing up the crossovers with Sonic and Archie, let's just see what he looks like next to a Sonic from Jax. And this is a decent scale. I think to be more true, Sonic would have to be like this big, which, okay, these are from different companies based on different IPs, so really it shouldn't be 100% expected for them to scale together, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure Jada designed these Mega Man toys to go with 6-inch figures, and I would argue these Sonic toys go really well with 6-inch figures, and Sonic and Mega Man are kind of supposed to be the same height. If not, I think Sonic is supposed to be a little taller, but they would still go really well together. But anyway, get out of here, Sonic. This is about Mega Man, not you. Alright, so in terms of the accessories department, he does have some alternate hands, like most collector-based figures are. He's got this gripping hand and a splayed-out hand. Let's hope it's not too tight. Oh, that was actually really nice. Oh, that's great. Like, just how easy that was. I have never had a collector-based figure where it was that easy to swap parts. Also, you probably noticed when he fell over, they did paint the red in the jets underneath his feet. Let's just swap out the other hand, just for the sake of it. Yeah, that's still pretty easy. That's really cool. I'm actually liking that. I'm not the biggest fan of interchangeable hands, but when you make it that good, you make it that good. And that makes me wonder, because he's also got his angry head. Is this a easy swap over too? Oh, yes, yes. Whoa. I feel like I'm being silly, like I'm over-exaggerating it, but I have never had that good of an experience with changeable parts. Now we got an angry Mega Man, and that brings the question, is Buster, is this also an easy swap out? Because that's what I'm wondering right now. Also, remember how when these were revealed, there was a promo picture where he just had the Buster in place of his hand when it's supposed to go over, replacing the whole arm? Ooh, that one's a little more tight. Little more tight. Not the tightest thing ever, but that wasn't as smooth as the rest of him. Ooh, okay. That one was a little rough. But even still, he's got the Mega Buster, and since I have him with the holding hand, let's have him holding it. Place him doing his shot. Get this other stuff out of here. And speaking of his shot, he does have a energy pellet or blast. Doesn't really look like the traditional yellow ball Mega Man shoots, but he has also got a stand for it. Just can't really. There we go. You plug it in here, and there you go. You got Mega Man shooting his little energy, and like, I mean, it's simple, but like, this is nice. Like, nice. Like, I'm the collector who always kind of snobs at collector-based figures because I think toys should be toys. But, like, this is good. This is really good, especially considering that these were cheap. Because these were smaller than normal instead of going, like, 25 or 30 like most collector-based toys are nowadays. These were just 20, which it's weird to sit called $20 cheap, but wow, this is, like, seriously, like, just getting this out of the package, it's good. Like, it's really good. Now, let's just, I want him to have a happy head, so we'll just put the happy face back on, and we'll let Mega Man get straightened out. And, oh, one more thing I want to point out before we look at the other figures. Single joints. Single joints, which is cool, because another thing I always bring up, you don't gotta fill a figure with articulation to make it good, or even make it move well, and the Jada people said they would have done double joints if the figures were bigger. But honestly, I think on a lot of times a single joint is all you need, and these figures are proof of that. I mean, like, look at this. Look at this knee bend. Look at that elbow bend. You don't need more movement than that. And I've seen plenty of figures that make single joints work, and I think they look better than double joints. Oh, and he's got a ball joint at the torso, which is, in my opinion, the superior way to do torso articulation instead of hinges. Yeah, the only really double joint he has is, I think, his neck is double jointed. Technically, because there's the ball joint in the head, and I think there's a ball joint connecting it to the body, but, like, that's understandable. Like this is... Ooh. This is good. This is really good. Like, wow. Like, I was hoping to like this, but... Whew. This is... Ooh. Let's just set him in the back here, and we gotta take a look at Iceman now. Oh, but before we actually do that, we should talk about the box. I was kind of too excited to jump into Megaman to talk about the box, and I almost skipped it for Iceman. It's nice. It reflects the imagery of the game. It's got that nice late 90s artwork that most depictions of the Mega Man characters are based off of. It's got the health bar on the side. It's clearly meant to emulate the game. I'm interested with the logo because there's a bunch of space here, and this makes me wonder if the next wave, because we got Mega Man 2 characters in it, instead of saying Mega Man, will it say Mega Man 2? Because there's space up here for a number. And then the back, it's got the free figures, it's got their effect part in the corner, and then it's got the other Robot Masters from the first game that aren't being done. And I don't like this, because to me this feels like a cross-sell, but we know it isn't, because Wave 2 is Mega Man with the power of Bomb Man, which Bomb Man doesn't have a figure, and then we're jumping to Mega Man 2 with Woodman and it was Bubble Man, right? It's been a while since I looked at the photos of Wave 2. I think it was Bubble Man. But the point is, we're not getting these guys yet. Hopefully, the line will last long enough to get them, but it's just weird because this feels like a cross-sell, and it's not. Even still, nice packaging. It's going in the recycling bin regardless, but very nice. And you know what? Another thing I'm noticing? Small. It fits everything it needs to and nothing else, which is nice because so many toy boxes are over bloated with extra space that they don't need, and I don't like that, especially since shelf space is shrinking, so packaging should shrink to accommodate that. Okay, let's free Iceman already. Alright, here he is, the little winter trooper himself, Iceman, and, you know, I was expecting him to be my least favorite of the set, and he kind of is, even though I haven't opened Fireman yet, just because I noticed mine has some scuffs on it, like the foot. Doesn't look like the camera's picking it up that well. And the head, although I do like with the head how, like, this fuzzy stuff on him, like, I don't know, the collar around his face is, like, pliable for getting the look down. I love the little zipper thing on the back of his head. Are his arms reused from Mega Man? Maybe the white part, like the lower part, but the top, the bicep seems to be different. Because he is smaller, like all that artwork tries to depict him as. Also, I find it interesting that both of his faces are of him using his power, and this one also has some scuffs on it. Or, I guess they're both of him using his power, because when Iceman has the ice power, he breathes it out his mouth, in case you never knew that. And, in fact, I'm just gonna swap the head. Oh, yeah, here we go. Ah, there we go. Satisfying, just as it is on Mega Man. It's... oh, these figures are perfect, if only because of that. because they made the annoyance of swapping parts on a figure actually comfortable. Like, my goodness. And I'm actually liking his knees a little bit better than Mega Man's, because like Mega Man's, that's like the one problem I'm having with Mega Man, is that it almost feels like I'm about to rip his out by the ball joint, and that is like the one thing that's being a bit scary on my Mega Man, whereas Iceman is got the knees that are actually feeling really nice. Also, I just remembered, they showed off Wave 2 and Wave 3. Because they've shown off 2 different new Mega Man variants. Who are the 5th and 6th Robot Master? Oh, I'm blanking. Maybe I'll look it up later on. Maybe I won't. Let's also rip his hands off, because he also has a different set of hands that I like more than the closed fists. He's got his own little splayed out hand, so he can be like, whoa, stop, halt, halt, before Iceman. And then he's got a more relaxed hand. There we go. It's amazing how nice it feels to have these figures moving their parts around. And he also, understand, with another effect part for his ice move, whatever it's called. And you can just put this in front of his mouth, and there he is, doing his thing. So, yeah. Iceman, pretty good. I like Mega Man a little bit better, but Iceman, also great. So far, we're 2 for 2. Now let's look at Fireman and hope he's also cool. Or hot, I guess. Now, here we go. We got Mr. Southern Hero himself. I'm Fireman. Yeah, remember that in Mega Man Powered Up PSP game? That's how he spoke in that. Did I say Fired Up? Powered Up. Maybe I did say Powered Up. That's also how he spoke in Archie, so that's how I remember Fireman. And look at how good he looks, especially next to these two, since they're both blue, which I guess I'm going to have to knock on Iceman again. If you're going to do free figures a wave, don't do 2 blue ones. I get it, fire, ice, but maybe should have waited. And yes, he is looking very good. He's taller than Mega Man, so we got a smaller bot and a taller bot. He's got the same gloss on his red parts. He's got a little bit of gloss on his gray, but not as much. Does he also have red stuff on him? Yep, he does. And he's got his fire on his head that you can put into other parts, but he's also got 2 other bits in place of his hands. So he's got this upraised one. I like this one. I believe both of these are based off one of his running sprites specifically, but you can interchange them between his hands and head. I don't think this one can. Yeah, this one can't go in his head because of the curl. They technically want that one to be on his head. Anyway, and speaking of his head, he does have a more angry looking one, which I'm actually not going to put on him, because I like the other one, but this is what it would look like. But I prefer this more neutral, happy head, so we're going to keep this one on him and put his default flame. And let's swap the flames for the arms. So put that one here, put that one here. And let's get him into an action pose, because aside for the interchangeable flames, he's basically the same as the blue boys. Put Megaman here. And get out Fireman's stand and shot effect piece. And voila, there he is, doing his fireman thing. And that's pretty neat. He might be my favorite, if only because, I mean, I feel like a favorite in this line has to be a Robot Master, just because we never get toys of the Robot Masters. Although we did get a toy of Fireman for the Ruby Spears series, and I think this might be the first articulated Iceman toy, because I know there were also like 1-inch figures for the Ruby Spears cartoon that did all of the Robot Masters from the first game. But, yeah, I think Fireman, Megaman, Iceman in terms of my favorites, but they're all great. Honestly, it's pretty easy to say. It's pretty easy to see how wonderful these are. These are top-notch Megaman toys. No, they're just top-notch toys. And they're, by today's standards, very affordable. I think if you got any kind of interest in Mega Man, any liking for the IP, you gotta try these. These are just incredible from solely removing from the packaging. You can just tell. It's awesome. There's really nothing more to say. So, that's it. See you guys around.